Reluctant Entrepreneur Tarot. I'm Diana Ideus, Master Certified Coach, and this video takes you behind the scenes of Reluctant Entrepreneur Tarot for the making of card 4, Sales. So sales here is associated with the Emperor. You have that very strong masculine energy, that structure, that sense of time. Also with the coin and the stamps on the coin, there's a process, a structure, an imprint there. The other more masculine card at the beginning of the Fool or the Entrepreneur's journey is the Magician, in this case, associated with the serial entrepreneur. So, as we look at this cycle, the serial entrepreneur, there's a proven path, there's a set direction. The serial entrepreneur helps us see what's possible. Then we have the more feminine energy and the mysterious of intuition, harder to understand, but at the same time, we feel a pull, we feel a calling. And then there's also the more feminine energy of innovation, the creativity that doesn't necessarily move on a set timeline or structure. So tarot likes to play in light and dark, in masculine and feminine. So these first two cards, which are associated with the Magician and the High Priestess, we have a power couple there associated with magic, associated with knowledge, showing the entrepreneur what is possible at the beginning of the journey. The second power couple that comes right after them is the Empress and the Emperor. So essentially the mother and the father. The card 3, that innovation, is more associated with life-giving creativity, emotional expression. As we move into the Emperor, there's that more logic, linear focus on how is this a process? How is this a foundation? And how are you building a legacy? How are you utilizing your power? So as we go a little bit more into the sales card, build an empire with the same bricks that were thrown at you. And the reason that I chose this quote is twofold. One is that the bricks that it takes to build an empire, you have the structure, you have the power, but also sales is a difficult thing, and the door gets slammed in your face and you're faced with rejection. And in one of the podcast episodes, or multiple actually, on Cross Street Coaching, we talk about the reasons that people don't want to become an entrepreneur. And I think a lot of this is sales, the idea of having to sell your product or service or yourself, and the rejection that comes from that. People are very uncomfortable with that. At the same time, building this foundation and this structure, this man is actually holding a shoe, right? Getting out there, hitting pavement, having that foundational structure, making that imprint, that mark, which then turns into that money, really makes a difference from the people who stay entrepreneurs and business owners and from those who aren't able to sustain. So this card is associated with the Emperor. The Emperor card often has ram's heads on it. So as you look at his throne, there's the structure and the matching there. And you see that kind of he's armored up for battle. The ram is associated with Aries. So whether you're ramming into something, or Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. So the idea of that more kind of masculine power. Someone has to sit on the throne. Someone has to build that foundation and that legacy. So in Creative Tarot, Jessica Crispin says, you might not want to admit to yourself that you wish to dominate and control. You might think it's gross to mix power and art, but someone's got to win the Nobel Prize every year, right? And to have that as a goal, not just the ego gratification part of it, but also the achieving excellence part of it, is not a terrible thing. So for some people, the adjustment they have to make is of the previous card, making space for that feminine energy of innovation and intuition. For others, it's making space and comfort with how you feel about power and sales, and that more kind of association with the masculine drive of driving out to get something, to focus on a goal and achieve and exceed that goal. So some questions to consider as you think about the sales or the Emperor card. What products and services are at your foundation? What could increasing your confidence in sales do for your business? How are your structure and desire for a legacy serving or not serving you? And what is your empire? What could it be? And if you'd like to listen David Malizia, who does our sales coaching and sales training for Hawthorne Union, joins us to talk about the importance of sales and has taught us all a lot about sales. And the song associated with this is Ice Cube's It Was a Good Day. And so this is a classic. This is a foundational song of Ice Cube's. Even people who don't listen to rap likely know this song and likely know who Ice Cube is because he's so prolific. He's so well known. He really built an empire from rap to movies to television appearances. So he's really known. He's built that foundation. And the song specifically, it's actually a lot of people I think don't know this. The beat that is in It's a Good Day that is so commonly well known and recognized is actually from Footsteps in the Dark by the Isley Brothers. So he's built upon another song in order to make this. And people don't necessarily know that. They don't necessarily associate that. This, if people hear this beat, they think of Ice Cube, but he's built upon that foundation. He sold it in a whole new way. And that's a lot of what rap and hip hop is about, is especially, you know, I think in the earlier days, we see samples and mixes and beats of classics that aren't necessarily even known now, but there's a commercializing of popularizing and a building on that foundation. And so the lyric in this one, I mean, the song itself, he's just going through his day, but we learned so much about him and about how dominant and powerful he is, even in that very relaxed way. But the song I associate with sales and also the Emperor is Then We Played Bones and I'm Yelling Domino. So if you think about Domino, their strategy, their structure, the game is played in a certain way. You have to build in order to win and in order to actually call out or yell domino, you have to build over time and be thinking about what's happening, where the pieces go. And then depending on how you play, some people don't count it as a win unless you actually slam the domino down and shout it. Or in this case, he says yelling. And so there's that exertion of not just structure and strategy, but also power, which is associated with the Emperor. So if you'd like to learn more, this video, the description of the cards, the questions to consider, the podcast, and different ways to work with us are on reluctantentrepreneurtarot.com. You can also check us out on Instagram at reluctantentrepreneurtarot, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.